Welcome to the ePage City image tutorial. Here I'm going to be showing you how to add and edit images on your site. The first thing you're going to want to do anytime you want to add an image to a page is simply select the edit button on the page. From there, your editor will appear. Simply drop your mouse in the general area that you want the image to appear, whether it's to be left or right aligned, and go ahead and select your image icon. The image icon looks like a little portrait. When you do, your image properties box will pop up. From there, the very first thing that you want to do is go ahead and select your Browse Server button. Selecting Browse Server will open up your website's File Asset Manager. Your File Asset Manager is going to be a catch-all for any images or documents that you've uploaded within any editor on any page of your site. It's great because from here you can reuse images and documents without necessarily needing to upload them multiple times. So if your image was available here, you could simply select it and select Insert File. Otherwise, anytime you want to add a new image to a page, come up to the very left corner where it says Upload, simply select that, browse, and select the image from your actual hard drive. Once selected, you will simply hit Upload one more time, and it will actually upload the image and drop it into the File Asset Manager. Now there are a couple of things that are important to remember about your website. First and foremost is how many columns your website is. If you have a 3-column site, that means that your images should really never be over 520 pixels. If you have a 2-column site, then you can get away with 700 pixel width images. So the first thing you want to make sure is that your width meets those standards. In this case, I am allowed to upload up to 700 pixel images, so if I look at the width, I see that they're both under 700, but one of the other things I like to take note of is the size of the file. Currently, both my image files in here are quite large. They're almost 200 KB, which is pretty large for an image so small. So what I suggest doing with all images that you upload, regardless of their width and height ratio, is to go ahead and resize them down by 1 pixel. Resizing them down by 1 pixel will virtually not change the image, but will save you on some space. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and resize this Chicago image down by a pixel. Notice that right now the file is at 198 KB. I'm going to take it down to 432 in width, and to do this I simply make sure it's highlighted and select my resize button. From here I'm given a width and height ratio. Now the great thing is all you need to do is type in one and it will auto ratio the other when you click in it, so you don't need to do math. Finally, before you go ahead and select the resize button, always remember to uncheck the create a new image box here. Leaving that checked will simply create a duplicate of the image, which kind of defeats the purpose on trying to save on space. So make sure that's unchecked and then go ahead and click resize. Now you can see my image has not changed. It's not degraded in resolution or anything, and it's just resized by 1 pixel, yet it's now only 18 KB in size. So again, greatly reduces the amount of hosting space that's currently taking up on the server. One thing to keep in mind is by default, our default hosting package, you get 500 megabytes of hosting space. This will always be in regards to images and documents that you've uploaded and made available on your site. So resizing your images like this will help you save space and help you stay under that limit so that you're not forced to purchase additional hosting space. Alright, from there I'm simply going to make sure it's selected, the image I want to add. I'm going to click Insert File. Once I do, I'm brought back to the Image Properties box where I have a few additional fields I can go ahead and fill out. One of those fields is alternative text, and this is simply how search engines know what this image is. So you can be pretty literal here. Whatever you'd like to put. Width and height ratio. So in the Asset Manager, when you change the width and height, it does change it permanently. Whereas this width and height ratio will simply thumbnail the image on how it will appear on this particular page. So it only changes the size of the image how it appears here, not in the Asset Manager. So I can select my desired size, and you will notice again when I type in one ratio, it does auto ratio the other. That's because this ratio lock here is locked. If I accidentally unlock this, it will allow me to kind of skew and stretch the image, which is no good. Make sure to always keep that locked to keep constrained proportions. If you'd like to set a border for your image, you can definitely do so. Simply type in the pixel width that you'd like the border to appear. Just keep in mind we do not suggest over a 2-pixel border. If you'd like no border, of course, just type 0. Horizontal and vertical space, or H space and V space, should be set for every image that you make available on your site. This will just create a bit of a buffer around the image so that any text that's close to it doesn't practically appear on top of it. It gives a little bit of spacing, which is important. We suggest between 7 and 10 pixels of horizontal spacing, or no more than 5 for vertical. Finally, setting the alignment, you can choose to left or right align your image. If you'd like to center your image, you actually have to do that in the editor. But again, if you want it left or right aligned, that is actually done through the alignment options here, and is important because if you don't set the alignment here, the text will not wrap. So I'm going to go ahead and left align the image and simply click OK. And there we go. My image has been added to the editor. If I want to move it around, let's say I had a longer scrolling page, I wanted to move it down, you just simply drag and drop the image around within the editor to kind of move it around the text. If you want to make changes to the image after you've added it, you can simply right-click on the image and click on Image Properties, and from there you can change the properties that you'd previously set. You can link your images just like you can text by simply selecting the image and selecting your link option. For the full linking tutorial, if you happen to not know how to link, there is a video on that. Otherwise, if you no longer want an image to appear within your editor, you're going to simply select the image, click delete to remove it from the editor, but the important thing to remember is if you not only need to delete images from the pages that they appear, you need to remember to delete the files from your asset manager as well. Again, so it doesn't continue to take up hosting space on your server even though they're not being seen. The easiest way to go about accessing your asset manager is again to simply click on your image icon, click on Browse, select the image that you'd like to have removed, and then just simply click delete. It will give you a confirmation. Just simply click OK to actually delete the image, and again, that will help release some space on the hosting server for you. Otherwise, that is it. Thank you for watching this tutorial video. If you have any questions or concerns using the content management system or with the site as a whole, feel free to give us a call directly at 312-291-2200, and a customer service representative will be more than happy to help. Thank you.